What's up, guys? It's your bro, Rich here, and today, the day has finally arrived. Today, this video is now officially part 6 on the Dodge Viper, and today is the final video of the Viper, and after that, I'll see what else I got planned next. Today, I'm now on the next part, which is Motorsport. So today I'm in the next part, which is Motorsport. So, before I get started, make sure you all like the video, subscribe. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all. So you let it know when I make brainy uploads. Okay, so without any further ado, let's finish this. So next part is Motorsport. Starting off with is the Face SR1. It's not much on it, so here we go. So two of the Viper RT10s. So two of the Viper RT10s. Two of the Viper RT10s were both raced and campaigned by a French racing team, Rent-A-Car Racing, during the 1994. So two of the Viper RT10s were both raced and campaigned by a French racing team, Rent-A-Car or RAC Racing, as they call it, during the 1994 24 Hours of Le Mans. So 24 Hours of Le Mans. The car number 40 finished 12th overall, but the car number 41 was not classified. So it wasn't classified. Okay, so the category for this car, so it's known as the Face SR2, Chrysler and Dodge Viper, so Chrysler/Dodge Viper GTS-R and the Viper GTS ACR. So category is GT2. So category GT2. Category GT2. Designer was Bob Lutz. Was a businessman. Full name was Robert Anthony Lutz. Born February 12th, 1932. Age 93. From the capital of Zurich in Switzerland. The largest city in the capital of. So from Zurich, the capital of Switzerland. So he's a Swiss American automotive executive. He serves as a top leader of all of the U.S. Big Three automobile manufacturers, having been in succession executive vice president, vice president and board member, of FMC Ford Motor Company, president and then vice chairman and board member of Chrysler Corporation and vice chairman of General Motors. So, and vice chairman of General Motors. The category GT2, designer Bob Lutz. Production was from 1996 to 2005. next we got the technical specifications. So the chassis was a so chassis was a unitary steel space frame. As for suspension, for both front and rear, it had double wishbones, um, coil spring, so twin wishbones, so coil springs, and adjustable dampers. And the anti-roll bars are a little bit different. The ones in the front were made of carbon. The ones in the front were made of carbon fiber. There we go. So as for anti-roll bars, at the front were carbon fiber. So front were carbon fiber, whereas the rears were just made of just pure stainless steel. Length length was 4,548 millimeters, 179.1 inches. That was length. Width 1924 millimeters, 75.7 inches. Height 1146 millimeters, 45.1 inches. Axle track is between 1658 to 1688 millimeters, 65.3 to 66 point, so 65.3 to 66.5 inches. There's a difference in those 30 millimeters, 1.2 inches, because the axle track is much bigger much bigger at the rear than it was at the front. Wheelbase, 2240 2243 millimeters. Say ow. So wheelbase is 2243 millimeters, 88.3 inches. Is that a curve weight? Nope. Unfortunately, but oh well. So wheelbase, 2243 millimeters, 88.3 inches. God, I'm tired. Yeah, looking a bit more fresh today because I had a shower. Fresh. Whew, as a daisy. As a daisy. Say as a daisy. And yeah, shaved. Yeah, a little bit of rough patches, but whatever. Anyways, so the wheelbase was obviously 2243 millimeters, 88.3 inches. Now for the engine, so for the motor, there's two different versions of the Viper engine. Well, there's one of them was a Viper derived, but this one is completely different to what it would normally have. The first one was just an easy one. It's the mighty Viper 350, so Viper 356. So it was a Viper 356 T6, a naturally aspirated 8 liter, so 8 liter 490 overhead valve V10 motor. So it was naturally aspirated, obviously. Front engine rear wheel drive. Or this next engine was a little bit odd. It's a 380, so a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter, so 6.2 liter overhead valve V8 motor, front engine rear wheel drive, so obviously naturally aspirated. And now it's for the 9802 number one. So it was for the 1998 to 2000, so 1998 to 2002 number one Zaxby's Racing Viper GTSR only car. As for the gearbox, two types you can choose for a 6-speed, either a Borg Warner T56 or just a standard Tremec gearbox 6 speeds. Power was between 600 to a monstrous 700. So from between 600 to a monstrously colossal. I can't even talk. To a colossally monstrous 770 horsepower, close to 800 horsepower. Wow, between 600 to a skull-shattering 770 horsepower. Torque was between 535 to 730 pound-feet. That's between 725 to an eye-watering, whatever you want to call it, 988, almost a thousand newton meters of torque. My God, Lord! If you had an extra, 9 pound-feet and 12 newton meters, you get a total of 738 pound-feet. 1,000 newton meters of torque. I can't think of any cars that would have that much torque. I think there's a few that I know. It was a Bentley Brooklands, I believe, with a 530 horsepower, 6.75 liter turbo V8, and the other one I could think of was the SL55 AMG. The one with the 6 liter twin turbo V12. Which, if you've seen on Top Gear, you see how bad it was through the turns, like how wide the car was going. And for that car, Mercedes had to detune the torque to stop the gearbox from blowing up, from like exploding and whatnot. Anyways, no, I mean, it does happen like that. This is just for older cars. So my advice is, if you want to get more power out of the car without completely destroying it, my advice is tune the gearbox and like the clutch and all that to much stronger, like let's say a racing clutch or a gearbox, so it can handle the amount of power for the car. Or if it's not for racing, just get not for racing like the gearbox and clutch, just get one that can handle like the amount of power that you can put onto the road. That's my advice. Anyway, so power output was between 600 to 770 horsepower, so 170 horsepower difference there, and 535 to 730 pound-feet of torque. So 725 to 988, well, almost a thousand newton meters of torque. Say between 535 to 730 pound-feet of torque. Say 535 to 730 pound-feet of torque, and 725 to almost 1,000 newton meters of torque. Weight was 2,540 pounds, which was 1,150 kilos. Pretty light for a Viper like that. As for the tires, they were Michelin GT. I was saying in French because Michelin was a French tire company, which it still is actually. So curb weight, 2,540 pounds. Say 2,540 pounds. Say 2,540 pounds. Approximately dead on. Say approximately. And approximately dead on at 1,150 kilos. Tires are Michelin GTs. Oops, So tires or Michelin GTs. Next up is the competition history. So his debut was at the 1996 24 hours. So 1996 24 hours of Daytona races was it participated in 220. It participated in 200 in 262 races and won 163 races. It had 23 constructor. It had 23. It won 20. It won 23 constructors championships, and so both that and 24 drivers championships. So that's pretty good. Okay, so Sarah, still in motorsport. I'll just dang it, I don't even know where am I. Where am I right now? I'll just redo it. So phase SR1. Two of the Viper RZ10s were both raced and campaigned by a French racing team. Rent a Car Racing during the 1994 24 Hours of Le Mans. The car number 40 finished 12th place overall, but the car number 41 was not classified. All right, next up is the Phase SR2 Viper. So next up is the Phase SR2 Viper. So here we go. In 1996, a race car based on the Viper was built and was called the Chrysler Viper GTS-R. In American races was named the Dodge Viper GTS-R. The construction was done by both Chrysler and by the teams both Reynard Motorsport and Orica. So Orica or Orica, whatever you want to call it. It's spelled ORECA. So ORECA. The numbers the car used were vast, with numbers like number 2, 51, 52, 91, 92. Well, it goes like 91, 51 to 92, 52. I just say in chronological order. So in ascending order from the smallest to the biggest number. Not like just random mixed up all that kind of stuff. Anyways, the car was unveiled in 1996. So the car was unveiled in 1996. In 1996 at the IMSA GT Championship. So at the IMSA GT Championship with the team Kanaska Southwind. With the team Kanaska Southwind. There we go. Which competed in the GTS 1 class, the highest for GTS classes. I'll just whisper. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona. So his first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona. So 24 Hours of Daytona, it managed to finish at the 29th position. But fortunately, the team would improve. Fortunately, the team would improve greatly, finishing 12th position in the 12 Hours of Sebring, Florida. I think, hold on. Where was it located? Just to make sure. Said Sebring International Raceway on the site of the former Hendricks Army Airfield. So, on the site of the former Hendricks Army Airfield, World War II Air Base in Sebring. So, in Sebring, Highlands County, Florida. So, Sebring, Highlands County, Florida. So the car was unveiled in 1996 at the IMSA GT Championship with the team Kanaska. So with the team Kanaska Southwind. So with the team Kanaska Southwind, which competed in the GTS 1 class, the highest for GTS classes. So the highest for GTS classes. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to finish. So its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to. So its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to finish at the 29th position. But fortunately, the team would improve. Greatly, finishing 12th position. In the 12 hours of Sebring, the car wasn't able to reach much further, however, which meant the team had to switch to GTS 2. So GTS 2, Orica had planned for racing in the 24 hours of Le Mans with their own GTSR. Both teams appeared. Both teams appeared at the. So both teams appeared. I can't even talk. Both teams appeared at the Le Mans. So both teams appeared at the Le Mans. So both teams appeared at the Le Mans, each with 2 entries. 3 of those 4 cars, so 75% of those cars, managed to finish with Kanaska Southwind. So 75% of those cars, so 75% of those 4 cars managed to finish with Kanaska Southwind. That sounds Canadian. So with Kanaska Southwind, Kanaska Southwind earning the best results in 10th place. 10th place. Really, 10th? That's hardly the best anyways. What? It's not even a podium finish anyway. So earning the best results in 10th place. The two teams returned to their respective series afterwards. Orca finished the year with 3 races. In the GT series. So in the BPR Global GT series, getting an 8th place at Brands Hatch. So 8th place at Brands Hatch, 9th at Spa, and 6th at Nogaro. Excuse me. Kanaska Southwind concluded the season by finishing second in class. By finishing both second in class. So both second in class at most sports and 6th place overall. Mosport was also known as Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, located north of Bowmanville in Clarington, Ontario, Canada, approximately 47 miles east Raceway, which is a multi-track motorsport venue located north of Bowmanville in Clarington, Ontario, Canada, approximately 47 miles east of Toronto. Well, these kilometers mostly, so 75 kilometers. 47 miles east of Toronto. The facility features a 2.5-mile 10-turn road course, a 1.8-mile advanced driver and race driver training facility with a 0.250 mile skid pad, DDC driver development center, and a 0.93 mile kart track. Mosport Karting Center incorporated previously Mosport Kartways. The name Mosports, a portmanteau of motorsport, came from the enterprise formed to build the track. So where the hell was that? Crap, I have to do it again. So, in 1996, a race car based on the Viper was built. It was called a Chrysler. It was called. God, I can't talk. It was called a Chrysler Viper GTSR. In American races, it was named the Dodge Viper GTSR. The construction was done by Chrysler and by both teams, Reynard Motorsports and Orica. The numbers the car used were vast, with numbers like 91, 51, 2, 92, and 52. The car was unveiled in 1996 at the IMSA GT Championship with the team Canaska Southwind, which competed in the GTS 1 class, the highest for GTS classes. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to finish at its first race was at the 24 hour its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to finish at the 20. So its first race was at the 20. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of I can't talk. Its first race was at the 24 Hours of Daytona and managed to finish at the 29th position. But fortunately, the team would improve greatly, finishing 12th position. In the 24 Hours of Sebring, the car wasn't able to reach much further, however, which meant the team had to switch to GTS2. Orica had planned for racing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans with their own GTS. So Orica had planned for racing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans with their own GTSR. Orica had planned for racing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans with their own GTSR. Both teams appeared at the Le Mans. Both teams appeared at the Le Mans each year. So both teams appeared at the Le Mans each with 2 entries. 3 of those 4 cars, so 75% of those cars, managed to finish with Canaska Southwind, earning the best result in 10th place. The two teams returned to their respective series afterwards. Orica finished the year with 3 races in the PPR Global GT Series, getting an 8th place at Brands Hatch, 9th at Spa, and 6th at Nogaro. Canaska Southwind concluded the season by finishing 2nd efforts made by Orica, the efforts made by Orica had expanded, racing in both the ALMS and racing in both the ALMS. So the ALMS and FI. So racing in both the ALMS and FIA GT Gym. So racing in both the ALMS and FIA GT Championship respectively, earning them nine wins and one by the racing team Paul Belmondo. So Paul Belmondo, another team named Chamberlain had improved. So another team named Chamberlain had improved to finish second overall in the FIA GT. Back at ALMS, Orca had taken. So back at ALMS, Orca had taken the title with 6 wins. 6 wins. That's pretty good. Later at Le Mans, Orca would go on to win their second consecutive win. I always say consecutive, but it is consecutive. It kind of sounds so odd when I say it a different way, but well, it's still the same, just a different way. Anyways, Orica would go on to win. So Orica would go on to win their second consecutive win with the top 6 positions in every class being taken by various GTSRs. The GTSR had made its first appearance in the FFSA, so FFSA GT Championship. God. Anyways, so the GTSR had made its first appearance in the FFSA, so in the FFSA GT Championship, and saw the first overall win for Zach Speed in the 24 Hours of Nürburgring in Nordschleife in Germany. So Nürburgring, Nordschleife in Germany. Orica left the FIA GT in 19. So Orica left the FIA GT in 1999. So in 1999 to focus on ALMS, leaving the private. So Orica left the FIA GT in 1999. So in 1999. So in 1999 to focus on ALMS, leaving the privateers to race there, and got 11 races out of it for Orca. They did lose to the then new Corvette factory racing team, but still won the championship. Back at the FIA GT, the Viper racing teams won 4 races. 4 races, pretty good. But were unfortunately outrun by the Lister Storm racing teams, with them winning 5 races for them. So they beat the Viper by 1 extra race. Viper's not gonna like that. I don't like that either, but whatever. So back at the FIA GT, the Viper racing teams won 4 races, but were outrun by the Lister Storm racing teams, with them winning 5 races. So with them winning 5 races for them, this let them settle for both second and third. So second and third, it's not bad. In the FFSA, the 3 teams. So FFSA, the three teams, the three teams, the three teams, DDO, ART or ART, and MMI teams would win a total of 8 victories. They would win a total of 8 victories. The Orca Racing team, had left competition to focus on Le Mans prototype racing for. So the Orca Racing team has left competition to focus on Le Mans prototype racing for 2001, the year the first Fast and Furious. So the Orca Racing team has left competition to focus on Le Mans prototype racing for 2001, the year the first Fast and Furious movie was released. The rest of the teams left at later years, and the Viper GTS R began fading by 2004, then left completely by 2010 and 2006. Hold on. So the Orca Racing team had left competition to focus on Le Mans prototype racing for 2001, the year the first Fast and Furious movie was out. The rest of the teams left. Can't even talk. The rest of the teams left. Can't even talk. The rest of the teams left. The rest of the teams left at later years, and the Viper GTS R began fading by 2004, then left completely by 2010 and 2006. In 2006, a modified Viper GTS ACR. So in 2006, a modified Viper GTS ACR. So GTS ACR, driven by Greg Crick. Under the team CraigCars.com. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. So it's Crick, so CRICK, and then cars. So it's CraigCars.com. Entered the Australian GT Championship and won it with 713 points in total. That's pretty good. Next up is the Phase ZB1 Viper. So, a new race car called the Viper competition. So, Phase ZB1, a new race car called the Viper competition coupe took the GTSR's place. 42nd phase. Say 42nd phase. The Viper competition coupe. The Viper competition coupe had the same 8.3 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler-derived V10 motor as the road to legal Viper. The Viper competition coupe had the same Chrysler-derived naturally aspirated 8.3 liter V10 motor as the road to legal Viper, but increased power from 500 to 500. So from 500 to 520. So from 500 to 520 horse. From 500 to 520 horsepower. And 540 pound-feet. 732 newton-meters of torque. The competition coupe. Had a carbon fiber composite body on a tubular steel frame with no interior trim and an FIA legal roll cage. The exterior design of the competition. The exterior design of the competition coupe was based on the Viper GTS. So the exterior design of the competition coupe was based on the Viper GTS R concept from 2000. Mods to the mechanicals of the Viper included a 27 gallon 27 gallon fuel cell. So 27 gallon fuel cell differential cool. So 27 gallon fuel cell differential cooler, ducted brakes, improved driver and engine cooling, trapdoor oil pan, low inertia flywheel, and low inertia flywheel, improved double wishbone suspension, new spherical bearing control arm attachments, two-way adjustable coilover dampers, and driver adjustable blade type rear anti-roll bar. It was like 10 or 11 pieces, I don't know. The ABS system added a distribution control system. So DCS. So the ABS system added a DCS system. So the anti-lock braking system added a distribution control system. The initial price of the car is around $100,000. So $100,000. Bargain. So pretty much like literally, I was like proper supercar money, like Ferrari Lambo money. I don't know. Same price as R35 GTR. Anyways, so the Viper competition. So the Viper competition coupe. Was initially built for use in the VCC Viper Challenge. In the VCC Viper Challenge Championship. One make series starting in 2003. The competition coupe. The competition coupe was later adapted for use in the Group GT3, instituted by the FIA. So FIA allowing its use in a variety of series in both Europe. So in both Europe and North America. French racing team Orca made further mods to the car to allow it to race in group GT2. Privateer teams used these cars to compete for certain series. With Racing Box in Europe for the with Racing Box in Europe for the International GT Open and Woodhouse. So with Racing Box in Europe for the International GT Open and Woodhouse Racing and Primetime Race Group in the US carrying out independent programs in the American Le Mans series. So independent programs in the American Le Mans series. The May 2004 test of the car. So the May 2004 test. The May 2004 test of the car from Car and Driver found the car to have acceleration data of 0 to 60 and 3.1 0 to 60 and 3.1 seconds. 0 to 100, 7 seconds flat. 0 to 150, 15.6, 15.6 seconds. Quarter mile, 11.2 seconds at 100. So quarter mile, 11.2 seconds at 130 miles an hour. Top speed, 153 miles an hour. That's done with the high downforce pack. Road holding, so it's 300 feet. Skid pad, 1.19, almost 1.2 G. Alright, now we got the Dodge Viper competition. So Dodge Viper competition coupe. So category was GT3. Designer. So category was GT3. Designer was Osamu Shikado. Production was between 2003. So 2003 to 2010. So 2003 to 2010. Then we got technical specifications. Length 40, approximately dead on 4,680 millimeters, 184.1 inches in length. Width approximately dead on 1,980 millimeters, 77.9 inches, almost 78 inches approximately dead on. Height 1,190 millimeters approximately, 46.9 will run. So 46.9 will run up like 47 inches. So 47 inches. In height, wheelbase 98.8, well, almost 100 inches. 2,510 millimeters in wheelbase. The engine was between 8.277 to 8.285 cubic centimeters, which is 5.5. So what is 505.1 to 505.6 cubic inches. That's so the engine was an 8.2 liter naturally aspirated 505 V10. So the motor was an 8.2 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived. So the engine was an 8.2 liter 8.2 liter naturally aspirated 505. So a naturally aspirated 8.2 liter 505 front mounted or front engine V10 motor with rear wheel drive. Transmission was a 6-speed manual. Power output was at 5,600 RPM, between 520 to 525 horsepower. So that's 5 horsepower difference there. At 5,600 RPM. Torque was between, so what was that? At 4,600 RPM. 540 pound-feet. 540 pound-feet. 730 newton meters of torque. So at 4,600 RPM. Curb weight was between 3,190 to 3,201 pounds. So 3,190 to 3,201 pounds. So that's 1,447 to 1,452 kilos. So that's 11 pounds, 5 kilos. It's not really that bad. So that's the weight. Now we got competition history. So competition history. Races 300. So it participated in 335 races. Won 45 races. So 335 races, 45 wins. Took 60 podiums and 16 poles, and won 6 teams and 6 drivers championships. So the May 2004 test of the car from car and driver found the cars have acceleration data of 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. 0 to 7 seconds flat. 150, so 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. 0 to 100, 7 seconds flat dead on. 0 to 150 in 15.6 seconds. Quarter mile, 11.2 seconds at 130 miles an hour. So quarter mile, 11.2 seconds at 130 miles an hour. Top speed, 153 miles an hour. It was done with the high downforce pack. Road holding by 300 feet. Skid pad was 1.19, almost 1.2 G. Sorry if I'm sounding too technical. I apologize. I briefly apologize for that. Okay, next up we got is the Phase VX1. Starting off with the first one is the SRT Viper GTSR. So the GT. Hold up. Okay, I'm back. Just got a glass of water. I was super thirsty from all this non-stop talking, honestly. It's important to stay hydrated even in the summer. God, it was like 30 or so degrees outside. Holy mother of mayhem. Anyways, so moving on. So we're now on the. Alright, next up is the Phase VX1. So the Phase VX1 Viper. Starting off with the first one is the SRT Viper GTSR. So the SRT Viper, so we got the GTSR version of the SRT Viper. So the GTSR returned in competition, but this time as an LMGTE class race car, and instead was both constructed and designed by both SRT Motorsports and Rally Technologies. So Rally Technologies. It includes Michelin GT tires. Where's Whisper? It includes Michelin GT tire. It includes Michelin GT tire. Michelin GT tires. The car retained the number 91, but had a new number for it called 93. The car was unveiled. The car was unveiled at the 2012 New York Auto Show. So 2012 New York Auto Show. So New York Auto Show. And it made its racing debuts. So and it made its racing debuts at the 2012 2012 Mid-Ohio Sports Car Challenge. So at the 2012 Mid-Ohio Sports Car Challenge were two GTSRs. So were two GTSRs driven by both Kuno Wismer and Dominic Vonbacher with car number 91, and both Mark Goosens and Tommy Kendall. So Tommy Kendall car number 93 finished both 10th and 12th in the GT class, which was both 23rd, so 23rd and 25th overall. The racing team entering the 2012 ALMS 2012 ALMS included Dominic Vornbacher, Mark Cousins, Ryan Hunter Ray, spelled Reay, Tommy Kendall, Jonathan Bomarito, and Kuno Whitmer. For those who don't know who those people are, I'll just tell you. Dominic Vornbacher. He was born in Ansbach, West Germany. Born September 26th, 1984, age 40, so from Ansbach, West Germany. And Mario Vornbach was his brother. So Dominic, so he was a German sports car racing driver and currently an SRT factory driver, driving an SRT Viper GTSR in the Tudor United Sports Car Championship. And his brother Mario Vornbacher, also born in Ansbach, Germany, age 33, born May 14th, 1990. So May 14th, 1992. He was also a German race car driver. He won the IMSA Sports Car Championship. So Sports Car Championship in the GTD class in both 2019 and 2020, and also won the GT World Challenge America Pro Am title in 2022. He had class victories at the Petit Le Mans, 12 hours of Sebring, and 24 hours of Nürburgring Nordschleife endurance races. Pretty dang cool. The car he drove was a A.K.A. NSX GT, which is super dang cool, honestly. The thing I like is that it has neon on the roof pillars and the roof itself. Sick. Like, how cool is that? Like, you don't see many cars with neon roof pillars and all that kind of stuff. Insane. Just insane. Anyways, so the car was unveiled at the 2012 New York Auto Show, and it made its racing debuts at the 2012 Mid-Ohio Sports Car Challenge, where two GTSRs driven by Kuno Whitmer and Dominic Vornbacher with car number 91 and Mark Cousins. Born November 30th, 1969, nicknamed the Goose, who's a Belgian pro racing driver that currently competes in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Priorly driving the number 14 Camaro for Speedhouse in the Euro NASCAR Pro in the Euro NASCAR Pro class. He's now driving the number 56 Camaro for CAAL Racing in the Euro NASCAR Pro class. So he was born November 30th, 1969, age 55 in Giel, G-E-E-L. So the Boston municipality in the city of Giel in the province of Antwerp in Belgium. was born November 30th, 1969. And that was the same day and month that Paul Walker, Fast and Furious actor and star Paul Walker, passed away. But he passed away in 2013. So that was around 44 years. So Mark was born 44 years before Paul Walker died. But Paul was born 4 years after Mark was born. So he was 4, like when Paul Walker was born, but he was born September 12th, 1973, in Glendale, California. Okay, so moving on. So the car was unveiled at the 2012. I can't even talk. 2012 New York Auto Show, and it made its racing debuts at the 2012 Mid-Ohio Sports Car Challenge, where 2 GTSRs driven by Kuno Wittmer and Dominic Farnbacher with car number 91, and both Mark Cousins and Tommy Kendall, born October 17th, 1966, age 58, from Santa Monica. So in the city of Santa Monica in A.K.A. County, California, situated along Santa Monica Bay on California's south coast. So he was born on October 17th, 1960. He was born October 17th, 1966, at age 58, in Santa Monica, L.A. County, California. So L.A. County, California. So Tommy Kendall. So born October 17th, 1966, age 58, at Santa Monica, Los Angeles County, California. So he's both an American race car driver and TV broadcaster. He's best known for both his IMSA GT Championship and SCCA, so Sports Car Club of America, Trans Am Series career. Pretty cool. So the car was unveiled at the 2012 New York Auto Show, and it made its racing debuts at the 2012 Mid-Ohio Sports Car Challenge, where two GTSRs driven by both Kuno Wittmer and Dominic Farnbacher with car number 91, and both Mark Cousins and Tommy Kendall with car number 93 finished both 10th and 12th in the GT class, which was both 23rd and 25th overall. The racing team entering 2012. The racing team entering 2012 ALMS included Dominic Farnbacher, Mark Cousins, Ryan Hunter Ray. Born December 17th, 1980. 3 days after my birthday, but I was born in 2005, so 25 years later. So his full name is Ryan Christopher Hunter Ray. Born December 17th, 1980, from Dallas. From the city of Dallas in Texas. So Dallas, Texas. So from the city of Dallas in Texas. So he's an American pro racing driver, best known as a winner of both the Indy 500 2014, and the IndyCar Series Championship in 2012. Currently competes part-time in the IndyCar Series for Dreyer and Rainbow Racing. In early accomplishment, he became the first American to win since Samuel John Ornish Jr., born July 2nd, 1979, who's an American semi-retired semi-retired pro auto racing driver. He last competed part-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, driving the number 22 Mustang. So driving the number 22 Mustang for Team Penske in 2017. So he was born in the village of Archbold in Fulton County, Ohio, located about 40 miles southwest of the city, in the city of Toledo, Lucas County, Ohio. Ow. The racing team entering 2012 ALMS included Dominic Farnbacher, Mark Cousins, Ryan Hunter Ray, Tommy Kendall, Jonathan Bomarito. Full name was Tommy Kendall, Jonathan Bomarito. Full name was Jonathan Louis Bomarito. Born January 23rd, 1982, age 43. Who's an American pro? Who's an American pro racing driver from the city of Monterey, which is situated on the southern edge of Monterey Bay on the central coast of California. So in Monterey County, California. I might visit Monterey one day. Never know. Never know. So yeah, the racing team entering 2012 ALMS included Dominic Farnbacher, Mark Cousins, Ryan Hunter Ray, Tommy Kendall, Jonathan Bomarito, and Kuna Wimmer. The two GTSRs of SRC. So the two GTSRs of SRC Motorsports finished third in the GT Class Championship. The car made its debut at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2013. So in 2013, the year the new Viper was unveiled, where it finished 8th in class and 24th overall. Balance of performance regulations encourages the car to run unusually. So balance of performance regulations encourages the car to run an unusually low rev limit of 47. So to run an unusually low rev advantage of the large V10's low end torque. In 2014, a year later, a year after the car was revealed in 2014, with the ALMS, both folding and so both folding and merging, with the RSCS Rolex Sports Car Series. SRC soon entered the Tudor USCC, so United Sports Car Championship, GT11 class. In the opening round, the 2014, so the 2014, 24, so 20, 2014, so 24, so 2014, 20, so in 2014, with the ALMS folding and merging with the Rolex, so with the RSCS Rolex Sports Car Series, SRT soon enters the Tudor USCC, Tudor United Sports Car Championship GTLM class. In the opening round, the 2014 24 Hours of Daytona, SRT took both third and sixth. So both third and sixth place in class, 12th and 27th overall, completing 675 and 653 laps respectively. Both cars were repainted. So both cars were repainted. Both cars were repainted at Watkins Glen in both the red and white livery used in the late 90s to early 2000s. The number 93 Viper won class at the IMS BGP Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Indianapolis Motor Speedway Brickyard Grand Prix in July 2014, after both cars took podium positions in the previous races at the Glen and Mosport in March 2014. So March 2014, Chrysler announced that it's withdrawing the Vipers from the 2014 24 Hours Le Mans. The Vipers ended the season at Petit Le Mans with both a team and drivers championship, both championships by Kuno Whitmer. So by Kuno Whitmer, following the end of the 2014 season, Chrysler discontinued the factory program by SRC Motorsports. Okay, so we got category. So following the end of the 2014 season, Chrysler discontinued the factory program by SRC. So Chrysler discontinued the factory program by SRC Motorsports. Now we got one more to do, and then we got one final bit left to do. But before we do, we're gonna do the overview of that car. So category was obviously LMGTE, and obviously also GT3 production. 57 for the GTSR. Say GTSR from 2012. So 2012 Forza Motorsport 5 and Call of Duty Ghosts came out in 2013 and 2014. Then we got technical specifications. Length was 4,540 millimeters. 179 will approximately dead on 180 inches for length. Width 2068 millimeters. 81.4, almost 82 inches for width. Height 1160 millimeters. Dead on at approximately 46 inches. For height, wheelbase 2504 millimeters, 98.6 inches. The engine was obviously the original naturally aspirated 8.3 liter, 8.4 liter actually, naturally aspirated Chrysler derived V10 motor, obviously front engine rear wheel drive, transmission 6-speed manual, power output for the SRT Viper GTS-R at 6,200 RPM. It was between 480 to 490 horsepower, and at 5,000 RPM, between 500 to 535 pound-feet, 680 to 725 newton-meters of torque at 5,000 RPM. Then we got the original Viper GTS-R, not the SRT, just the standard Dodge Viper GTS-R, which made a hell of a lot more power at 7,000 RPM. 574 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. That's crazy. And at 3,400 RPM, 630 pound-feet, 853 newton-meters of torque at 3,400 RPM. Pretty good. Now we got the next up is the SRT Viper GT3R at 6,150 RPMs. At 6,150 RPMs. Between 670 to 680 horsepower at 6,150 RPMs. And at 5,100 RPMs, 640 pound-feet, 870 newton-meters of torque at 5,100 RPMs. Then we got the Dodge Viper GTS, GT3R. So I say SRT GT3R, now we got the Dodge GT3R, which made between 684 to 700 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. At 3,400 RPM, between 650 to 664. We'll add 2 more so you get 666, the devil's number. Pound-feet of torque, 880 to 900 newton-meters of torque at 3,400 RPM. So following the end of the 2014 season, Chrysler discontinued the factory program by SRT Motorsports. Now we got the carboy. So for the SRT Viper GTS-R, between 2,535 pounds. Say 2,535 pounds to 2,540. So for the Viper GTS-R, between 2,500 and 2,535. So 2,535 to 2,540 pounds, 1,150 to 1,152 kilos. So 5 pounds, 2 kilos difference. Next up is the Dodge Viper GTS-R, between 2,750 to 2,931 pounds, which is 1,247 to 1,329 kilos. GTSR. So 2,750 to 2,931 pounds. So 1,247 to 1,329 kilos. Around 181 pounds. I'd say 78 kilos probably. Or 82 kilos difference there. That was my Viper GTS-R by Dodge. Now we got the SRT Viper GT3R. 2,855 pounds to 1,200. So 2,855 pounds. 1,295 kilos. Then we got the Dodge Viper GTS. So we got the SRT Viper. SRT Viper GT3R. 2,855 pounds. 1,295 kilos. Now we got the Dodge Viper GT3R. 2,800 pounds approximately dead on. 1,270 kilos. So that's 55 pounds. 25 kilo difference. Now we got the competition history. 100 entries, 64 races, 9 wins, 17 podiums, 2 poles, and 1 title. It won 2 teams championships and 1 drivers championship. So following the end of the 2014 season, Chrysler discontinued the factory program by SRC Motorsports. Now we got the SRC Viper, not GTSR, but the GT3R. So the Viper GT3R was made available for race teams in the later half of 2013 at an estimated price of $460,000. The car shares many technologies with the GTE race car, but it's built to group GT3 regulations. The GT3 vehicle, so the GT3 car was jointly developed by both SRC Motorsports and Rally Technologies, and the car features the same 8.4 liter V10 from the road car and is capable of producing 680 horsepower. So it is capable of producing unrestricted 680 horsepower, 40 more than the road car. However, actual output will be near to 600, the same as the ACR Gen 2 Viper, due to balance of performance employed in GT3 championships. So due to balance of performance employed in GT3 championships, the car weighs in at 2,855 pounds, 1,295 kilos, which is inside the 1.3 ton, so 1,300 kilos, like 29, maybe 3,000 pound limit for so 1,300 kilo limit for GT3 cars. The first win for the GT3R spec Viper came on July 13th, 2014 in the Tudor United Sports Car Championship, or the TUSTC, Tudor United Sports Car Championship at Motorsport. So Tudor United Sports Car Championship at Motorsport, followed by a win in the PWC Pirelli World Challenge at the streets of Toronto. In the second race of July 20th, 2014. second race on July 20th, 2014. DSC, not Dynamics Simulator Control, but Dynamic Supercar Challenge. Squad Team Race Art won both the 2014-2015 Super GT Class Championship and a Viper GT3R. Last one, and then I'll officially be it. I got official lap records since the debuts of the ACR series. The ACR has been setting records all around the world, with most of them in the US. 28 of the 29 lap records have each been set by the ACR, with the last one made by the Time Attack 1.0. Then we got the Phase SR2 lap times. The first Viper ACR Phase SR2 had only set just one lap record in Willow Springs Raceway, Rosamond, California. This particular lap time was taken in 2008, in which it didn't make the fastest overall lap time. So it was at Willow Springs International Motorsports Park with 1 minute 34.9. Driver was unknown, but the variant was ACR. Next up we got is the Phase ZB2. So Phase ZB2 lap times. The Viper SRT10 ACR originally set 13 lap records back in its day. These laps were set by Gary Thomason and SRT drivers Dominic Farnbacher and Chris Winkler. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 13 tracks, I think. So we got Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey, California, 1 minute 30.46 seconds, driven by Chris Winkler. Then we got El Toro, 39.89 seconds by Gary Thomas. Then we got Gingerman Raceway, 1 minute 26.7. Nürburgring Nordschleife, 7 minutes 12.13 seconds. And we got Willow Springs International Motorsports Park, 1 minute 26 dead on, all three driven by Dominic Farnbacher. Then we got Willow Springs Streets of Willow, 1 minute 8.56 seconds, driven by Steve Millen. Still driven by Steve Millen, born February 17th, 1953, who is a retired New Zealand IMSA race car driver. In both the 70s and 80s, he raced in both hill climbing and Formula Ford before doing stadium off-road racing in the US in the MTEG Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group. He then began sports car racing, winning numerous championships in IMSA Camel GT. He won 20 races in the series, including both the 24 Hours of Daytona and the 12 Hours of Sebring. He was born February 17th, 1953, age 72, in New Zealand. So yeah, we got Gingerman Raceway, 1 minute 26.7. Nürburgring Nordschleife, 7 minutes 12.13 seconds. Then we got Willow Springs International Motorsports Park, 1 minute 26. So 1 minute 26 dead on. So Willow Springs International Motorsports Park, 1 minute 26. Then we got Willow Springs Streets of Willow, 1 minute 8.56 seconds. So 1 minute 8.56 seconds. So driven by Steve Millen. 1 minute 8.56 seconds at Willow Springs Streets of Willow. Then the rest of the 7 races, well, 7 tracks were unknown. So we got Auto Club Speedway, 53.45 seconds. Then we got Button Willow Raceway Park, 1 minute 55, 1 minute 55.7. Grattan Raceway, 1 minute 22.7, 33 seconds faster than BRB. Button Willow Raceway Park. So there's both that, and we got Miller Motorsports Park, dead on at 2 minutes. Nelson Ledges, road course, 1 minute 8.9. Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch, 1 minute 45.4. So 1 minute 45.4. Says Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch, 1 minute 45.4. Then we got the Virginia International Raceway, or VIR, 2 minutes 48.6 seconds. Unknown, all of them were in the ACR variants of the Viper. And last but certainly not the very least we got is the Phase VX1 lap times. So the Viper ACR Phase VX1 originally held 14 lap records. The Nürburgring Nordschleife lap. So the Nürburgring Nordschleife lap. The Nürburgring Nordschleife lap was specific to records for American-made manual rear-wheel drive cars. The lap times were set by racing drivers Randy Popst, whose full name was Randy Franklin Popst, born June 26th, 1957, age 67, in the city of Dayton. Montgomery County, Ohio. So he was also known as RFP, so Randy Franklin Popst, or the Rocket. He's both an American race car driver and journalist for Motor Trend magazine. So Randy Probst, Tommy Kendall, Lance David Arnold, and SRT vehicle dynamics and development engineer Chris Winkler. So Lance David Arnold, born in Duisburg, in the city of Duisburg, in the Ruhr metropolitan area of the western German state of North Rhine-Westphalia in West Germany. Something like that. So say he was a German race car driver who he competed in such series as the Rolex Sports Car Series, and Porsche Super Cup, as well as the 2009 24 Hours of Nürburgring Nordschleife. In November 2011, 2 years before Paul Walker died, he partnered with 1988 and 1999 F1 world champion Mika Hakkinen and Cheng Kung Fu to drive a 2011 SLS AMG at the 2011 6 Hours of Zhuhai in Zhuhai, China, presumably. A race around of the 2011 International, so 2011 Intercontinental Le Mans Cup. So Randy Popst, Tommy Kendall, Lance David Arnold, and SRT vehicle dynamics and development engineer Chris Winkler. Now we got so far we got 15 tracks. So we got Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, 1 minute 33, 1 minute 33.62, and 1 minute 28.65, driven by Randy Probst. Time Attack Viper. So both 1 minute 33.62 and 1 minute 28.65. Then we got Waterford Hills Road Racing Track. 1 minute 10.89 seconds. Road Atlanta 1 minute 26.54. Nelson Ledges Road Course 1 minute 6.21. RNT Milltown Mile 51.17 seconds. Gingerman Raceway 1 minute 31.91 seconds. Pittsburgh International Race Complex. So Pittsburgh International Race Complex 58.37 seconds. So Pittsburgh International Race Complex 58.37 seconds. Then we got Grattan Raceway 1 minute 22. 1 minute 22.1. Then we got the Virginia International Raceway, the Grand Course, 2 minutes 40. Then we got Willow Springs International Raceway. Well, Willow Springs International, so Willow Springs International Motorsports Park in Rosamond, California. 1 minute 21.24 seconds. Then we got Button Willow Raceway Park, 1 minute 47.7. Then we got Indy Motorsports Ranch, 1 minute 33.75. Chrysler Chelsea Proving Grounds, 1 minute 5.53 seconds. Then we got Motorsport Ranch, 1 minute 17. And then we got Nürburgring Nordschleife, 7 minutes and 1.3 seconds. All of these races from Waterford Hills Road Racing Track, 1 minute 10.9. To Indy Motorsports Ranch, 1 minute 33.75. Was driven by Chris Frankler in the ACR variants of the Viper. And we got Motorsport Ranch, both Motorsport Ranch, 1 minute 17, so 1 minute 16 actually, 0.98. I should add up to 1 minute 17. And Nürburgring Nordschleife, 7 minutes and 1.3 seconds, was driven by both Tommy Kendall and Lance David. So both Tommy Kendall and Lance David Arnold. So Randy Popst was the one who drove the Time Attack Viper. The rest, Chris Winkler, Tommy Kendall. So Tommy Kendall and Lance David Arnold drove the ACR variants of the Viper. Alright. Wow, boy. Finally done. Wow. I needed to do that. Okay, so that's officially it for the Viper. Thank God for that. Oh my God. I didn't expect that to happen, but oh well, we finally got it done. Wow, almost 2 hours. 1 minute 40. Wow. 20 minutes less. Damn. Okay, so that is officially it for the Viper. So for my next video, I'll see what I'll see what I've got next. Possibly a couple Cadillacs, probably. I got no idea, but I'll see what I can do for those. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. Gotta check what time it is now. First of all, I am screwed. I'm dead. Oh, thank God. 11:50. So it's 10 minutes before 12. So I got lucky. Alright, so that'll be officially it for the Viper. So for my next video, I'll do maybe a couple Cadillacs. I got absolutely no clue what else I'm gonna do. But I'll find out soon enough. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. So that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this, so if you guys like this video, so if you guys like this video, so if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. So like and subscribe. Say like and subscribe. Comment down below. So like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you let it know when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. I gotta go to bed. I'm super tired right now. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, but until then, stay safe. So stay safe. Have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Good night.